I didn't plan for anything to happen that morning, I said into the mic, tapping it lightly. Just a quick test, guys. Give me a second. I leaned back in my chair, trying to adjust the new audio settings. My viewers loved when I upgraded my gear, and I always tried to share everything with them. Olivia used to say she was proud that I worked so hard. She'd smile and tell me, "Ethan, you're going to blow up one day." I believed her. I trusted her. I glanced at the stream window. Okay, chat, tell me if the mic sounds cleaner now. A few messages rolled in, but then the comments suddenly rushed faster. Bro, someone's talking behind you. Who's the girl? Turn around, Ethan. I frowned. What are you guys talking about? I slid my headphones off and froze when I heard the whispering behind my bedroom door. Olivia's voice. And a man's. I stood up slowly. Olivia. My throat tightened. Are you home? Her whisper sharpened. Keep your voice down. He's busy pretending to be famous. A man chuckled. Brandon's voice. Told you. He's too soft. My pulse hammered. I pushed the door open. Olivia, what is this? She turned, startled for only a second before rolling her eyes. God, Ethan, relax. Brandon leaned against the wall like he belonged there. Hey, man. I felt heat rising in my chest. Why are you in my apartment? Olivia, what's going on? She crossed her arms. Don't make this dramatic. Brandon just came to talk. To talk. My voice cracked. Brandon shrugged. She said you'd freak out. Guess she was right. Ethan, stop acting pathetic, Olivia snapped. Brandon is an upgrade. You know that. My hands trembled. You said you loved me. She laughed quietly. I said a lot of things. The chat exploded behind me, but I barely heard it. My head buzzed like everything inside was collapsing. How long? Olivia sighed. Does it matter? Brandon smirked. Long enough. I stepped back, feeling the weight of every word crushing me. Were you ever honest with me? Honesty is overrated, she muttered. I swallowed hard. Get out. Olivia raised an eyebrow. Seriously? You're ending this. You ended it, I whispered. I just didn't know. Brandon pushed off the wall. Come on, Liv. He'll get over it. They walked past me, and I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Then my monitor flashed. Ethan, we heard everything. Bro, we're here. We've got your back. My stomach dropped. The stream had caught every word. Every betrayal. I stared at the screen and whispered, my whole life just fell apart. Live. I sank into my chair, hearing the echo of my own breath shaking in my ears. Chat messages kept pouring in, each one begging me to stay strong, to speak, to breathe. I felt their support wrapping around me, even when my chest felt hollow. I whispered, I don't know what to do, and for once I wasn't talking to them, I was talking. I stood frozen, trying to understand what I had just heard, my mind shaking so hard I could barely breathe. Olivia, look at me, I said, my voice cracking. Tell me the truth. Who is he? She lifted her chin like nothing was wrong and said, Brandon is just a friend. You're overreacting. I felt my stomach twist. A friend? You were whispering about me. Brandon smirked behind her and said, Man, relax. We were just talking. I hated how calm he sounded. Before I could answer, my phone started ringing. Emily's name flashed across the screen. I picked up. Ethan. Oh my God, you're live, she shouted. Everything's public. Everyone saw. My heart stopped. What? I whispered. Emily repeated, You're still streaming. I looked at my monitor and saw the flood of messages exploding across the chat. Ethan, we heard everything. Stay strong, bro. She's lying. Olivia turned toward the screen, her face twisting. Are you kidding me? She snapped. You humiliated me on purpose. I shook my head. I didn't even know the stream was on. She pointed at me like I was the villain. You always make things worse. Look at this mess. Brandon shrugged and said, Told you he'd melt down. I felt my chest burning. "You betrayed me," I said. "And you're blaming me?" Olivia threw her hands up. "You're acting dramatic. This wouldn't have blown up if you paid attention." The chat fired messages faster. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding against my ribs. Emily was still on the phone. "Ethan, end the stream. You need to breathe." My hands trembled as I reached for the keyboard. Olivia kept talking. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Do you know how this makes me look?" I stared at her, realizing she cared more about strangers' opinions than the pain she caused. Brandon leaned closer to her. "Let's go, Liv. This isn't worth our time." She glared at me one last time. "Fix your little disaster." They walked out while thousands of people watched my silence. My thumb pressed the button, and the stream ended abruptly. The room fell completely still. Emily whispered through the phone, "Ethan? Talk to me." I swallowed hard. Why wasn't I enough? The words slipped out before I could stop them. Emily didn't speak for a moment, then said softly, "This isn't your fault." But all I felt was the weight of my breaking heart. I wiped my face with shaking hands and said, "Emily, I don't know how to move forward." She answered, "One step at a time. You're not alone." I wanted to believe her, but the room still felt broken. "It hurts so much," I whispered. Emily replied, "Let it hurt, but don't let it stop you." I nodded even though she couldn't see it. "Stay with me a little longer," I said. "I'm here," she promised. Her voice felt like the only solid thing left in my collapsing world. I breathed, trying to stay present. I sat on the edge of my bed, trying to breathe while Olivia shoved her clothes into a suitcase without looking at me. "It was an accident," she said, her voice sharp. I whispered, "You cheated on me, and you're calling it an accident?" She zipped the bag and replied, "Move on, Ethan. Don't make this harder." I felt something inside me sink. "Did any of it matter to you?" I asked. She didn't answer. She just kept packing like my pain was background noise. "Olivia, please just talk to me," I said, my voice shaking. She sighed. "Ethan, I'm tired. You're too emotional." I stared at the floor, feeling like my chest had a hole in it. "So this is nothing to you?" I asked. "It's done," she replied. She grabbed the suitcase and walked toward the door. "I loved you," I said quietly. She didn't turn around. She just said, "You'll get over it," and left. The door clicked shut, and the silence crushed me. A knock came a minute later. I opened the door to see Mr. Thompson frowning. "Son, are you all right?" he asked. I forced a weak smile. "I'm okay." He looked unconvinced. "If you need anything, knock on my door," he said. "Thank you," I whispered as he left. The moment I closed the door, tears hit my hands. Emily arrived minutes later after I begged her to come. She rushed in and said, "Talk to me, Ethan." I shook my head. "I don't understand." She held my arm. "Then let me stay until you do." I collapsed to the floor, whispering, "I lost everything tonight." Emily knelt beside me and said, "You're shaking. Breathe with me." I tried, but my chest felt tight, like the air refused to stay inside. "She walked out like I meant nothing," I said. Emily replied, "She didn't deserve the way you loved her." I wiped my face. "It hurts too much." "Let it hurt," she said softly. "But don't let it break you." I leaned against the wall, feeling everything crumble inside me. "Emily, what do I do now?" I asked. She squeezed my hand. "You get through tonight first. One night at a time." I nodded weakly. "I don't feel like myself anymore." "You're still you," she said. "You're just hurt." I whispered. She didn't even apologize. Emily shook her head. "That's who she is, Ethan. Not who you are." I covered my face and said, "I gave her everything." Emily replied, "And she threw it away. That's on her." I felt my voice break. "I don't know how to stand back up." "Then let me help you stand," she whispered. I stared at the floor and said, "Everything feels ruined." Emily answered, "It feels ruined now, but you're still here, and that means something." I nodded slowly. Stay a little longer, please. She sat beside me on the floor and said, I'm not going anywhere tonight. I closed my eyes and whispered, Thank you, please. I woke up to my phone buzzing non-stop. I groaned, grabbed it, and whispered, What now? When I unlocked the screen, I froze. 1,000 messages. I muttered. Notifications kept stacking. Ethan, the clip blew up, one message said. Another read, We're with you. I sat up fast. Oh God, what did I do? Emily called instantly. You're trending, she said. People saw everything, and they're defending you. I rubbed my face. Why would anyone care? She replied, Because they saw the truth. You didn't fake anything. I opened my social feed. Comment after comment hit me. Stay strong, Ethan. Olivia was cruel. Brandon is trash. I whispered, I don't even know these people. Then I got a message from someone named Chloe. Hi Ethan, I'm a long-time viewer. I'm boosting your story so Olivia doesn't twist it. Another message appeared from Daniel. Man, I'm sharing the clip everywhere. She won't get away with lying. I exhaled slowly. Strangers care more than she ever did, I whispered. Emily texted again, This might be a turning point. I called her. A turning point toward what? I didn't want this. She answered, Maybe not, but people are listening to you now. I stared at my camera sitting on the desk. Do I talk to them? I asked. Emily said, If you want to, but don't pretend you're okay. I nodded even though she couldn't see me. I won't. I set up a quick shot and hit record. Hey, I began, my voice soft. I don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed. I'm hurt. I didn't plan for any of this. I took a shaky breath. I trusted someone who didn't care, and now the whole world saw it. I paused, staring at my reflection in the lens. I'm not a hero. I'm not strong. I'm just trying to breathe right now. When I finished, I uploaded the video with trembling hands. Within minutes, comments poured in. We hear you. You're not alone. Thank you for being honest. I whispered, For the first time, I feel seen. But the moment didn't stay peaceful. Olivia posted a story saying, Ethan set me up. He wanted attention. My chest tightened. She's twisting it, I said aloud. Emily called again. I saw her story. Don't respond with anger. I sighed. I'm tired, Em. I didn't ask for any of this. She replied, I know. But you're handling it better than you think. I checked my notifications and saw more supportive messages. Chloe wrote, Don't let her gaslight you. Daniel added, We've got receipts. She can't lie her way out. I muttered, Why do total strangers feel safer than the person I loved? Emily's voice echoed through my thoughts. Because they don't want anything from you. They're just supporting you. I sat back, holding my phone against my chest. The internet took my side, I whispered. I just wish she had. My phone buzzed again, and I sighed, thinking it was another random message. But when I saw the name, I sat up straight. Claire Carter. I whispered. I opened the message. Ethan, I'm Olivia's sister. I'm sorry for what she did. Please talk to me. I hesitated, then typed, Why are you reaching out? She replied almost instantly. Because you deserve the truth. I called her. Claire, what's going on? She took a shaky breath. Ethan, Olivia lied to you. She and Brandon weren't a new thing. They were seeing each other for months. My heart tightened. Months. She whispered. I tried to warn her, but she didn't care. She kept saying you were too nice to leave. I felt my throat burn. So I was just convenient. Claire said softly, I'm sorry. She didn't deserve you. I rubbed my forehead. Why tell me now? She answered, because she's blaming you online, and that's not fair. You didn't set her up. She ruined this herself. I exhaled shakily. Thank you for telling me. Claire said, I hope you heal, Ethan. Don't let her destroy you twice. When the call ended, I stared at the wall, whispering, Months. She lied to my face for months. My email pinged next. I opened it expecting spam, but the name shocked me. Professor Richard Hale? I murmured. His message read, "Ethan, I saw your live stream and your honesty. You have potential as a creator. If you'd like guidance rebuilding your presence, I'm willing to help." I said aloud, "Why would someone like him reach out to me?" Emily called right then. "You okay?" she asked. I replied, "I just got an email from Professor Hale." She gasped. "The media expert?" I nodded. "He wants to help me rebuild." Emily said, "Ethan, this could change everything." I paced the room. "Do I even want to rebuild? I feel broken." Emily answered gently, "Or you could take this pain and turn it into something powerful." I stopped walking. "You really think I can?" She said, "I know you can." I typed a reply to Professor Hale. "Thank you. I'd like to learn." He responded quickly, "Good. First step. Protect your emotions, your image, and your future. Pain can be a foundation if you use it wisely." I whispered, "Protect myself. I've never done that." Emily texted again, "You have choices now, Ethan. Don't let Olivia's betrayal be the end of your story." I replied, "I'm trying. It just hurts." She wrote, "Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself." I sat at my desk, staring at the messages from Claire and Professor Hale. "I can stay broken," I said quietly, "or I can change." For the first time since the betrayal, I felt something new. Small, fragile, but real. Hope. My phone buzzed nonstop again, but this time the messages felt different. Emily called first. "Ethan, have you seen what's happening?" she asked. I sighed. "What now?" She said, "Olivia lost 2 brand deals. People are tagging the companies with the clip." I paused. "Already?" Emily replied, "Karma doesn't need time when the truth is loud." I opened my notifications. Comment after comment said things like, "She deserves this," and "Ethan told the truth." I muttered, "I never wanted her life to fall apart." Emily said, "You didn't cause this." She did. Another message popped up. Someone named Hannah Brooks. "Who is Hannah?" I asked aloud. I opened the request. "Hi Ethan, I'm Brandon's ex. I'd like to talk." I messaged back, "What do you want to tell me?" She replied instantly, "Everything." I called her. "Hannah." She sighed. "Yeah. I'm sorry you're going through this. Brandon did the same thing to me." I clenched my jaw. "He cheated on you too," she said, "more than once. He loves the attention. People like him always lose, Ethan." I whispered, "I feel stupid for not seeing it." Hannah responded, "You're not stupid. You're kind. That's different." She added, "His workplace is already reacting. Someone sent the clip to his manager." I blinked. "What did they do?" Hannah said, "They suspended him until they review his behavior." I let out a slow breath. "Wow." She said softly, "That man ruins everyone he touches. You're lucky you got out." After the call ended, I sat quietly until my phone rang again. Olivia. I stared at her name for a long second before answering. "What do you want, Olivia?" She was sobbing. "Everything is falling apart and it's your fault." I stayed silent. She cried harder. "Brands dropped me because of you. People are calling me horrible." I finally said, "All I did was exist in the moment you betrayed me." She snapped, "You could have defended me. You could have told people it wasn't that bad." I shook my head, even though she couldn't see it. "You lied to me for months. You cheated. You mocked me. Why would I defend that?" She sniffed. "I made one mistake." I replied softly, "No. You made choices." Repeatedly. Olivia's voice cracked. "Say something. Please." I whispered, "What do you want me to say? That I'm sorry you hurt me? That I deserve what you did?" She didn't answer. I continued, "I begged you for honesty. You destroyed me instead." She whispered, "I didn't think it would end like this." I said quietly, I did. Eventually. She gasped. You don't care anymore, do you? I answered. I cared until it broke me. I'm done now. She inhaled shakily. Goodbye, Ethan. I didn't respond. She hung up. I set the phone down and leaned back, feeling a strange calm settle in my chest. For the first time, I whispered, this weight doesn't feel impossible. I sat at my desk staring at the email from Professor Hale when Emily called me again. So, did you answer him? She asked. I said, yeah, and he wants to start today. She laughed softly. Then get ready. He doesn't waste time. I opened my laptop. I'm nervous, Emily. What if I can't do this? She replied, you already survived the hardest part. When Professor Hale joined the video call, he said, Ethan, pain doesn't end careers. It shapes them. Tell me what you want. I took a breath and said, I want to stand again. I want to make something real. He nodded. Good. Then you'll learn to turn emotion into truth. Start by telling your story without shame. I asked, why would anyone want to hear more from me? He answered, because you're honest. Honesty is rare. After the call, Emily came over with coffee. So, how did it go? She asked. He wants me to rebuild, I said. She smiled. Then rebuild. I looked at her. You make it sound simple. She shrugged. It's not simple. But you're not doing it alone. I recorded my first new video. I'm not here to be inspirational, I said into the camera. I'm here because I broke, and I'm trying to understand the pieces. When I uploaded it, I expected silence. Instead, my inbox filled with messages. Thank you, someone wrote. Your honesty helped me leave a toxic relationship, another said. I whispered, people are listening. Emily watched the comments with me. You're helping them, she said. I shook my head. I'm just talking. She replied, and they needed someone who talks like you. I kept practicing with Professor Hale. He'd say, cut the fluff. Speak from the wound, not around it. I learned to craft stories, to breathe when memories hurt, to stop apologizing for my feelings. One day he asked, do you know what your power is? I said, no, he answered. You don't pretend. Later, Emily and I walked outside. You're different, she said. How? I asked. You're standing straighter. You're not flinching at your past anymore. I said quietly, it still hurts. She replied, healing doesn't erase pain. It teaches you to walk with it. I admitted, I ignored so many red flags. I trusted blindly. Emily said, trust isn't weakness. Betrayal is. I looked at her. Maybe I can become someone stronger. She smiled. You already are. Comments kept pouring in from viewers saying, your videos got me through my breakup, and thank you for talking about what most people hide. For the first time, I didn't feel like a victim. I felt like someone who survived. One night I said to Emily, I think I'm finding my voice. She replied, you never lost it. You just needed someone to remind you it mattered. I nodded and whispered, maybe I'm finally learning to stand again. And for the first time in a long while, I felt proud of the man I was becoming today. I had just finished editing a video when someone knocked on my door. I froze. Who is it? I asked. A shaky voice answered, it's me, Olivia. My stomach tightened. I opened the door a few inches and saw her standing there with red eyes and messy hair, nothing like the confident woman I once knew. Ethan, please, she whispered. Can we talk? I stepped back slightly but didn't open the door wider. Say what you came to say. She wiped her face. I didn't know your worth until I lost you. I stared at her. Why are you here now? She said, everything is falling apart. Brandon left. People hate me. I made a mistake. I shook my head. You made choices, Olivia. She flinched. I thought Brandon could give me a better life. The words burned through me. A better life. She whispered, I was stupid. I thought you'd always forgive me. I never meant to hurt you this badly. I kept my voice calm. Then why lie for months? She looked at the floor. Because you were safe. You were kind. I took advantage of that. I swallowed the hurt. You didn't just hurt me. You broke me. She cried harder. Ethan, I'm begging you. Please give me another chance. I leaned against the door. A chance for what? To watch you walk away again. She shook her head quickly. No. I learned my mistake. I just want to fix things. I said softly. Some things can't be fixed. She reached out. At least let me in so we can talk properly. I kept my hand on the door. No, Olivia. I can't do that. Her voice cracked. You still love me. Don't you? I closed my eyes. Love doesn't survive lies like yours. She covered her face. I ruined everything. I know I did. I took a breath and said, Olivia, I forgive you. She looked up, desperate. Then why won't you try with me again? I answered, because forgiving you doesn't mean forgetting what you did. And it doesn't mean I can go back to who I was with you. She whispered, so this is it? I nodded. This is closure. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I'm so sorry. I said, I believe you. But it's too late. She took one shaky step back. Goodbye, Ethan. I whispered, goodbye. I closed the door gently and leaned my forehead against it. My chest didn't feel heavy this time. It felt strangely light. Emily called moments later. Are you okay? She asked. I said. She apologized. Emily paused. And how do you feel? I exhaled slowly. Free. For the first time, free. Emily's voice softened. I'm proud of you. I nodded to myself. My heart finally stopped aching. When I walked back to my desk, I whispered, this chapter is done. I sat on the couch, replaying the moment Olivia walked away, when Emily knocked lightly. Can I come in? She asked. I nodded and said, yeah, I could use company. She sat beside me and studied my face. You look lighter, she said. I replied, I feel lighter. It's strange. She smiled softly. Strange can be good. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she asked, what's going on in your head right now? I let out a slow breath. Honestly, I'm scared. Not of her anymore, but of what comes next. Emily tilted her head. What scares you exactly? I looked down at my hands. Loneliness scares me, I admitted. But losing myself scares me even more. She touched my arm gently. You won't lose yourself. Not if you stay honest with what you feel. I met her eyes and said, that's the thing. I don't know what I feel. She laughed quietly. Ethan, you don't have to rush anything. I leaned back. You always say the right thing. Emily replied, I just say what I mean. Silence settled again, but it didn't feel heavy. It felt warm, safe. I whispered, I've been noticing something. She raised an eyebrow. Noticing what? I hesitated, then said, the way you look at me. It's not pity. It's something else. She didn't look away. I care about you, she said simply. And I'm proud of how far you've come. My chest tightened, not in pain this time, but in something gentler. Emily, I don't know if I'm ready for anything new. She nodded. I'm not asking for anything new. I'm just here. I said, sometimes I worry that letting someone in again will break me. She answered, not everyone wants to break you, Ethan. I looked at her, studying her expression. And what do you want? She sighed softly. I want you to heal. Whatever grows after that. Let it grow naturally. Her words felt like steady hands guiding me out of the darkness. I whispered, I feel something. I don't want to call it love yet, but it's something. Emily's smile softened. Something is enough. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. Thank you for not walking away when things got ugly. She replied, you'd do the same for me. I turned to her fully. I think I'm learning how to breathe again. She chuckled. Good. Breathing is important. We both laughed a little, and it felt like the first real laugh I'd had in weeks. I said, "Emily, whatever happens, I want to keep you close." She answered, "Then keep me close. I'm not going anywhere." I nodded slowly. "It feels safe with you." She whispered, "You deserve safe." I leaned back, letting the moment settle into me. "Maybe this is what healing looks like," I said. Emily replied, "This is what healing feels like." And for the first time, I believed her. I stared at my screen as the viewer count kept rising. I said, "I never imagined this many people would show up." The chat exploded with hearts, and I felt my hands shake. I whispered, "Thank you for being here with me today." Emily leaned beside the camera and mouthed, "You've got this." I smiled and said, "Tonight's stream is for anyone who's hurting." Messages rushed in saying, "We're proud of you, Ethan." I continued, "If you're rebuilding, then rebuild slowly like I did." I added, "Pain doesn't erase you, it can guide you forward." The donations alert rang, and I said, "Every bit goes to support survivors." I breathed deeply and said, "I used to feel completely powerless." I continued, "But you helped me remember my voice still mattered." I said, "Professor Hale taught me honesty is strength, not weakness." I added, "Emily reminded me that healing happens in small, real steps." I paused and admitted, "I didn't get here alone, not for a second." The chat wrote, "We saw your journey, and we learned from you." I felt emotion rise and said, "Thank you for staying through the chaos." I said, "Thank you for believing me when I barely believed myself." I added, "Even those who hurt me shaped the man I am now." I whispered, "I don't hate them, I just let them go." The donations kept increasing, and Emily whispered, "You're helping thousands." I said, "Then every scar was worth something after all." The chat spammed, "You're stronger now," and I felt that truth deeply. I announced, "We reached our goal, and I'm overwhelmed by your support." I said, "This stream isn't about my past anymore, it's about our future." I smiled and added, "I finally feel like I'm standing on my own feet." I ended with, "Wherever you are, keep going, your story isn't over." I clicked End Stream, and silence settled warmly around the room. Emily stepped closer and asked, "How do you feel now?" I laughed softly and said, "Like I just breathed for the first time." She smiled and replied, "You took your life back tonight." I whispered, "Did I really become someone new?" Emily touched my arm and said, "You became someone stronger." I grabbed my jacket and said, "Let's walk outside for a moment." We stepped into the night, and the cool air calmed my chest. I said, "Everything feels different now, like the world finally opened." Emily asked, "So what does freedom feel like to you?" I whispered, "It feels like letting go without falling apart." I looked up at the sky and said, "I'm finally free." She asked, "Free from her?" I replied, "Free from the version of me that couldn't move." She nodded and said, "Then this is truly a new beginning." I whispered, "A beginning I never expected but finally deserve." She said, "I'm glad I get to see it with you." I smiled and answered, "I'm glad you stayed through everything." I felt ready.